Okay, guys, and this is the Raw Island Park. We are now in Providence, Raw Island, where CPP and the Liberian Association celebrating the July 26th of the Republic of Liberia. And Liberians are all over the place there, enjoying themselves, walking. You can see families all over the place. That is what they do. So when you look on this side, you see people, and these are people who came out with their families to to enjoy. This is the ANC spot, and ANC is doing program today in Raw Island. They're having a fundraiser in Raw Island today. So share this video, and like the video, please. Like the video. Okay, guys, I know there was no sound because I was doing something and I just kept it on. But this is the women are playing right now, and I just trying to at least show you guys something. But I know some of you guys say, but they went too far. Yes, it's too far. Yeah, they're too far. Yeah. What kind of player that your friend ain't playing? You reach the field. Don't jog too hard because you get tired before you reach there. Don't carry that baby on the field. Do not carry the baby on the field. Do not carry that baby on the field. Your friend ain't going to play. You say you walking around too. Your friend going to play. You go wear jersey. Your friends playing. Okay, guys, I'm at the park, and okay, I will not turn the camera again because it was so funny. There's a girl. She's one of the kickball player, but dancing and rocking. But they're playing kickball right now. I'm in Providence, Rhode Island, and ANC today having a fundraiser. Okay, now they can see you. You're passing the back. Okay, a lot of Liberians coming to spend the time to enjoy themselves, and I came purposely for the ANC program. I'm not here because of July 26th. And there's a July 26th program going on all over the country. I don't know if there's a we expect our president to say something, but nobody has said anything yet. But the internet is not too good, and the internet is not too good. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Yeah. Mm. Okay, Anthony, I just sent you the link. If you get it, you can come on. Let's offer for Jersey. Let's offer for Jersey. I'm okay, man. Okay, guys, so we stay at the park here. And Anthony, if you get the code, I think I just sent it to your phone. I just sent you the code on your regular number because I'm using my hotspot right now, so I won't be able to. Mm.
What's up, General?
Anthony, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah, what's up, man? What's going on? How's everything with you?
Hey, man, we're
Yeah,
kicking
where are
good.
you? You on this side or you in Philadelphia or you on the other side?
Nah, on the other side, man.
Yeah, okay. I'm in Raw Island right now in Providence,
Oh,
where
hey,
ANC
join
having
on the
the
side, man.
ANC Global. Yeah, yeah. What to do, my man? We're trying to sacrifice, and I see the girls playing and kickball right now, and they say ANC will be playing the Liberian community. But I'm not here. My doctor is in New Jersey, so you don't expect
I
me to
know,
play
so
in
you don't,
Raw Island
you
in
can't
case
play
of
over there.
anything. Okay, so to, to call Marusha, I don't play on this side, but they will be playing an old timer game. Then today will be the I will
Man,
do
that
that.
place used to,
Relax, I'll do
that
that
place used to be my
now
play
before I
P
leave.
town.
Um,
That place used to be my
this
place.
guy, this guy, Anthony, just listen to this guy. This guy is Ghanaian. He just walked up to me and said, "Listen, I love Alex Cummings. I like Alex Cummings." He said, "I got 5 lawyers in Liberia, in Ghana, and I'm trying to sue George Weah." He said, "George Weah, he's this and that." So since this guy is watching us, you said something about President Weah, and you said something about President Weah. You said, "I know you like him as a football player." He said President Weah built house in Ghana and whatsoever. So tell me, what you feel about George Weah? You can hear him, Anthony.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me, my friend?
Yeah, I can
Hello?
hear you.
My name is Samuel Appleton, NPP USA Rhode Island chapter organizer. I'm also the CEO of Youth for Entrepreneurs. It's an NGO in Ghana, and I represent my political party in Ghana. Yeah, I'm talking as an executive of the party, but I'll just speak my mind. It's not the party's mind when I speak on political issues in Liberia. That is my mind.
Okay, so what you feel about George Weah?
All right.
Because you walk up to me,
Uh huh.
thank God you came back, and
Uh
what
huh.
you say about George Weah? I know
George.
you are Ghanaian. George Weah got properties in Ghana.
Uh huh.
George, we heard news, a lot of stuff, but you are trying to explain some stuff. So,
Okay. Personally,
what's your view?
personally, I have a problem with George. Yeah. He is a good president. I'm not taking that away from him. He's a footballer. He has went to school in USA, right? And all that. I respect him a lot, but I don't like some of his attitudes. He went to Ghana and built a house for Jackie Apia, which I don't know if it's true or not. That's just the allegation. I'm not saying it is true, but that is the allegation that has popped up. So I'm not trying to be mean. I have a lot of friends from Liberia. That's why I'm here. I like Joria, but because of that, he has to be investigated so we figure it out.
So you said you got 5 lawyers to sue.
Lawyers that I'm going to put together to sue Georgia, but it's going to be tough. Right now, I don't have any evidence yet, so
But
we
you
have
said
to.
something about Cummings. Have you seen Cummings
No,
before?
I never seen comments, but I heard his name. He's a good guy, and I would like to meet him personally. So, as political ambitions, I'm a political analyst and a consultant. So
So you are a member of the
yes,
NPP.
I work for people. I work in as my political experience. I can help Cummins to take over Liberia. I'm telling you, because I have a lot of experience. I go to Ghana back and front, but I'm telling you, because of the democracy in Ghana, I've learned a lot. So I'll be able to help Cummins. I'm telling you, I'll advise him on how to go about his campaign and all that, and I'll make sure he with power.
Okay, so what's your name again?
Samuel Painting, NPP USA Rhode Island chapter organizer.
Okay,
Thank you so much for having me, and God
All
bless
right.
you.
thank you very much. Appreciate it. Enjoy yourself.
I love the Liberian community.
Thank
You
you.
guys are my people. So
All
I'm
right,
just
thank you.
chilling around. I'm still around. You can
Okay,
call me anytime. We
okay.
can have another talk.
Okay, and Anthony, he came up to me. I was standing up and he started to explain. And he said a lot of stuff, but sometimes when you say things and you come back on camera, you don't want to say it because I don't know for what reason.
There's some people that
But
can
I
do
just want to
things
say
in
this:
the
this
air
guy is a
camera.
Ghanaian who, yeah.
So the Jackie Apia story is that among Liberia and among the Ghanaian themselves too. The audio gone. Can't hear you. General, can you hear me? You gotta adjust the audio. Something happened when you switch the headphone. Your handset is not on. Check the headset. No sound. Okay, your sound is back. I can hear the people in your background. So say something.
Okay, you can hear me?
I can hear you.
You can, okay, yeah, okay. So anyway, that's a Ghanaian. It's just something I wanted for other people to see for themselves. But that was it. But you know our election is around it. What mama calling me for? Hold on 1 minute. Some talk and I can hear you.
All right.
Take it from there. Anthony, can you hear me? Take it from there. Say
Yeah, I
something.
can hear you.
Okay, you got the mic. Go ahead.
Yeah. So something very intriguing happened today. Our VSP was in District Number 4, Grand Bassa County, in the marketplace, and I mean, you could see the natural love. You could see the people gravitating towards her. You could see, people in the marketplace feel very comfortable with this young lady. The myth that out there that she had no, connection with the people in Grand Bassa is a complete myth. I even shared that video on my page, and I shared in the other group chat as well. The VSP is, you know, it's meeting people, and you can tell from the natural love, like she's not even saying much, and people are just rushing to her, and her reception towards them is very welcoming. Um, I just watched that video just now, share on my page and share on all. Yeah, I just want to speak to that, to those people that say, "Oh, she brings nothing to the table." Maybe they don't know. How can a person with a political degree, a degree in government, a degree in law, who has served as a lawyer in New York, in the Bronx area, very, one of the poorest section of New York, represented people of low income, understood their plight in Liberia, representing people, of lower class. And this lady understands, the nuances of concession deals. She understands policy writing. She understands, the legal aspect of what each law means and what the clauses in the law means. And this is the lady that people want to downplay. One thing I learned about most Liberians, when they don't have anything against you, they find the least
Yep.
common thing that they can throw at you. One, they will try to dismiss you, that nobody know you, nobody care about you. And then when you pass that threshold, they will come and say, "But your people said that even like you." Today I saw some people writing comment. "Oh, that must be Barcelona." How many of us can speak our dialect from Liberia? How many of us can speak our dialect? Let's just be honest there. Some of us are very
You
privileged that
know,
can speak our dialect with very few. But the vast majority of Liberians don't speak that dialect. That is just the truth. You know? So I just saw that, the way in which people gravitate towards her, people like her, people, feel her, and people see themselves within her. That is a power for the CPP. you know I enjoy that today. Every time she comes out, she was out there with, Minister Bison Fine. They were in the marketplaces, and the women were gravitating towards them. That was awesome. Look, for those Liberians who doubted Mr. Cummings' decision making, his leadership, if it comes to politics, you seeing the clear picture. Y'all were fooling the men to say, "Oh, go as a VP for JMB." There was no guarantee that JMB were going to pick Mr. Cummings as a VP, and Mr. Cummings are going to settle for that today. Yes, what they are going to do? Quietly eliminating Mr. Cummings out of the political spectrum, and then JMB stands alone to face George Weah when he declared no, he cannot defeat George Weah on his own. You know, so the myth out there about JMB is the people's choice have been refuted over and over again since 2017. The Unity Party, according to its nomenclature, cannot unite people. The party is called Unity Party, but it cannot even unite people in alliances, in collaboration. It can't unite people. How can they unite our country, Liberia? And today we see all the distraction that were within the CPP have followed this very same Unity Party. Since they left, the CPP have been sailing. The CPP is moving strong. The CPP have no noise. The CPP have no backbiting. The CPP have no commotion. We are selling. So we know where the noise was coming from when we're in the CPP together. It was the Unity Party folks. It was these people who feel very entitled, refused competition, came under false pretense, pretended that they care, wanted to use the CPP as their personal property when the CPP was very successful, vibrant, and kept the ruling party on the edge. They claimed glory and said, oh, it was because of them. They left, they went to local county, an election without a collaboration, a candidate backed by JMB, Kotima, lost the election. Today, Kotima has been outcast. He's running as an independent candidate. And Steve Zago, Senator Steve Zago, who is a Liberty Party man, can no longer use the Liberty Party name as a political party, is now forced to go on the Unity Party ticket. So Kotima now is kicked out of the project just so he appeased Nyomdi Kanga Larry and Senator DeLong. So the deception in the man called Joseph Yuma Boakai, the deception in that man, it is obvious on all fronts. A man that cannot get along with anyone, a man quote-unquote with wisdom, and his wisdom have not used a significant political impartation in our nation. That in itself is very, very disheartening. We saw the first of its kind that a certain vice president could now win more than one county in 2017. This time around, he's not even going to win more than 80% of the votes in Lofa County. Though he will win Lofa, no doubt, but at a very, 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 very low margin. Why? The ratings are on the wall. So the CPP is the clear alternative. Why the CPP is the clear alternative? Yes, why? Mr. Cummings and our VSP, Councillor Charlene Bronsky, they present a clear path to recover Liberia, to fix Liberia, to put Liberia on the path that Liberia will excel in the 21st century technological economy. How? Electricity, fresh broadband connectivity throughout the country. That means you have access to internet and you have access to the global world. You don't need government job to have a job. You don't need government assistance to be able to connect with anybody. You don't need anyone to put you in touch with any company. Once you have the qualification, you have the necessary tools, you can apply for any job from anywhere, any part of the country. Once you have reliable electricity and have broadband connectivity across the length and breadth of Liberia, you can do those things. Next, job creation. You don't need government job to survive. Many of us in the diaspora are not working for government when we have a job. If we do not have a job, you will see us finding elsewhere to go. The reason why we can contribute to our nation is because we have a job. Number one thing is job creation. the Liberian people will have the opportunity to strive in our own
And, and,
country.
and, 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 and hold on 1 minute. Let me show you something. And you will continue. Let me show you something. I'm going to turn the camera around. This is the ANC team that will be against the Raw Island and folks here. So most of the guys just came up. They say, okay, since you want us to play, this is the ANC team right
All
there.
right. The guys are all
You see
strong.
it? And you know Mr. Kishan. And you know when Mr. Kishan in the football business, all of them getting very say, I just come here. I can't put team together. No, most of them
But
play
I know your
football. I
old
know
time
most of them.
player.
So every one of them, yeah. So all of them have they coming to play for ANC. All of them were playing for the. You see, all the most of the guys, about 4 guys there, yeah, were playing for the. They started to play for the team in the blue over there. But I took them from there and brought it on this side to play for the ANC. And I got 3 CDs on it. He said I will play because I like the man. So you see, we just got there now. They play the ANC group will be playing against the Raw Island Old Timer on this side. So go ahead.
Yeah, so as I was saying, the CPP is cruising, the CPP is moving stronger. The CPP have a plan to rebuild Liberia to fix the messy circumstances that our people are faced with. So when you have a job, when they invest into the future industry, a lot of people in Liberia don't know that Liberia have a huge deposit of shrimp, huge deposit of shrimp, huge deposit of snapper fish, huge deposit of the tuna fish, huge. And all we need is to invest into the fishery industry and start exporting fish. We don't need to import fish. We have enough fish along our coastal line. Why do you think the Senegali fishery industry try to, sign up bogus deal with Liberia at that time when Henry Costa blew that alarm?
And another thing, I want you to speak on this. I listened to President Weah the other day when he was giving a shot, when he was hitting Mr. Bwaka
Then
concerning
one second,
and
I'll answer
what
one
he
question.
want,
Yeah, one second.
and he went and he he made a statement that Mr. Bwaka is a dreamer and whatsoever. Then later on in that same thing, he said, and what the other guy want to fix, but then he stopped right there and went back to Mr. Bwaka. So I want you to speak on that concerning what Mr. Cummings want to fix because President we don't know what Mr. and maybe Mr. Bwaka self don't know what Mr. Cummings want to fix. So anyway, I'm waiting for Anthony to come back. But I said this before that Mr. Cummings want to fix the mess that they brought to our country. So I want you to speak on this and Mr. Weah don't know what Mr. Cummings want to fix. Mr. Weah don't
So,
know. And I don't
so
think Mr. Bwaka know what Mr. Cummings want to fix. Elaborate on that, please.
sure. So obviously, um, when President Weah spoke the other day, I scratched my head because yes, a man who served as a senator of the most populated county in Liberia, and within that county found the nation's capital. President Weah never understood his role as a senator. He doesn't even know who sits as the Senate pro tem and was blaming the president of the Senate, which was JMB at the time, that he was not presiding. The president of the Senate does not preside over the legislative circumstances. The president of the Senate only preside um, if there is a vote and there is a tie, and he break that tie. But when it comes to debating the national issues, that's not the role of the president of the Senate to debate any issue. Now, what they don't, what he doesn't know to fix is when they introduce their own document called the PAPD, the Purple Agenda for Development and Prosperity. In that document, they have 4 pillars. And I always like to speak of one of the pillars of that document called agriculture. Because if you read the executive summary of the PAPD, it has in there agriculture supposed to have been the bedrock of the economy of Liberia. However, look at the budgetary line item of agriculture compared to how they presented agriculture in that document. It shows that they don't know what they're talking about. Because agriculture, if agriculture should be your bedrock of the economy of Liberia, then why are you investing very minimal amount into agriculture? and you are borrowing enough money to go have good time, to enjoy, senator taking $30,000 each, representative taking $30,000 each, and you're not investing into agriculture. Yes, what Mr. Cummings is going to fix. Mr. Cummings is going to fix the $65 million deal that you guys signed that's supposed to be paid back in 2073, 1 million of you will be dead and gone. That loan debt has to be rectified, has to be fixed. The Liberian people will be given the opportunity to strive in their own country. George, we are taking our country back. The other day, consider can you back by vote on the Grand group chat that George Weah have done more things than the United Party. In fact, George Weah have brought something to Liberia that Liberia never had since 1847. So I wrote backward and I said, I challenge you, Councillor. Were you alive when Yekepa was in existence, Lanko Yekepa? We have all of these facilities. We have 24/7 electricity. We have running water, pipe water in pump. We have bus system, bus to rail system. We have well-paved road. We have quality education, quality healthcare system. We have one of the best hospitals where open heart surgery was performed on multiple times and people survive it. Number day in Liberia. We have telephone in the streets. Why are you talking about that George was the first person who did this thing since 1847? This is the myth. They tell the young people, those children that were born during the war and after the war, that you don't know better. George Weah is the best president. That's a myth, complete myth. And no sound educated person should even utter that phrase out there of their mouth because that's a lie. I lived in Liberia before the war, and I know, and I was born in Yekepada, and I can tell you free that we have telephone in the streets. Do we have telephone today in the streets in Monrovia? Telephone booth? Absolutely not. Do we have quality education compared to the school system that we have in Yekepa? Currently in Monrovia? Absolutely not. Can you compare those schools today in Liberia compared to the schools in the 80s that the regular Totman had back in the days? The last high Kara had from Yekepa back in the days? Then VTC, the Vocational Training Center in Yekepa, where people are learning hydraulic, mechanical training, automotive training. They were becoming engineers in learning mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. Do we have qualified schools today better than the schools that we have back in the 80s, 70s? Absolutely not. We have more students graduating today who cannot even represent their degrees. That's what we have. We have a bunch of students graduating that cannot represent what they learn in school. That's what we have today. That's what we have today in that very Liberia. Very few students are doing their best, but the vast majority are performing very poorly. So you can come here and talk about George Weah doing this, then George Weah is doing that. Another thing that George Weah did wrong for our nation, they promised 1 million jobs of taking 1 million people out of poverty. Where is the number today? Where are we today? Did George Weah create 1 million jobs in his 6 years or in a 5+ year? Absolutely not. Right? Has the CDC taken 1 million people out of poverty? The answer is no. So what are you talking about that? You don't know what we're going to fix. We're going to fix the lies. We're going to fix the myth. We're going to fix all of what you told the Liberian people that since 1847, Liberia never had Hospital 14. The Yekepa Hospital alone. JFK was the #1 referral hospital in Liberia. The Phoebe Hospital. What are you coming from and lying to the Liberian people that we never have good things? Do you have telephone system today? In the streets? In Monrovia? Do you have 24/7 uninterrupted electricity? You do not. You do not. Electricity comes on 7 p.m., goes out 6 a.m. in the morning. All throughout the day, you don't have electricity. You buy your electricity, you charge your car, you don't have it. Don't care about myth here. The makeshift park. George Weah have traveled the world, have lived in great cities, great communities. He comes back and give you a mediocre development, and you want to praise that? Joshua does not love Liberia. Joshua only love the money that he's exploiting from the Liberian people. That's why he loves. He does not love Liberia because you don't love your country. You won't come to your country and do what you're doing in your country. Build these makeshift houses, makeshift parks, and act as though it's the best ever. Because other people never. Then I get this funny thing from the people. At least he tried. He has traveled the world. He has reached the highest peak of his career in soccer world and earned that title. And we will not take that away from him because he deserved that. But when he comes back and build these makeshift things that you can't even compare to any country in the entire West Africa, the Ivory Coast, you will not have power problem. Electricity don't go out in the Ivory Coast like that. Not for days, not for weeks, not for months. Ivory Coast. Let me take a village place, which is not one of the major cities, Giglo, right there, West Africa, West Ivory Coast. What? Nobody even know the place. Some people in Abidjan have not even heard about Giglo. Electricity would not even go for days. But the whole of Liberia can go. The airport goes out of electricity for hours, sometimes a day. And you want to say George Weah doing well? Another myth, George Weah did more good things for Liberia than the UP government. That's a lie. That's another lie. George Weah government did not do well than the UP. In fact, if we will compare the UP and the George Weah government, then we has failed massively.
Okay, Anthony, let me say this. Anthony, let me say this. You know, with the two parties, and the CDC are putting out lies that the UP refused to take glory of what they did. What would you want to blame the CDC? They were supposed to be talking about roads. That yes, we did this. We did some good work, but yes, we had some places where we did bad in other areas. But when I'm president, this is what I would do. But even up to present, they still cannot tell us or tell CDC this is what you've been doing, and when we come to power, this is what we will do because we were there before and we did some good things and we had some lapses, so we're going to change it. But they're not saying it. So you see, the two parties, they're trying to push us out that we are irrelevant, we are nothing. We are not part of this whole thing. The competition is between two of them. But for me personally, I want to tell the Liberian people that that is not the case. We are the best alternative to facing president. We are one on one. It's not the UP. UP cannot stand in front of President Weah because they can't button what President Weah is saying. But we are ready to facing President Weah, and the Liberian people want change, and that is the real change. Charlene, you saw the tips of Charlene Bromsky. I saw her driving and passing in the swamp, and this guy was running behind her. And people are gravitating, the young people, the children who graduating, even when they all did the talk about Zogos, we all got Zogos too. When they talk about rebel, we get rebels. So they're all Liberians. We got friends. So nobody will be intimidated by even the CDC. I know that we will win President Weah. If we even facing cities and CP and UP, we will defeat UP. And I will not be surprised. It's possible that this thing can fall between two opposition. So we got to campaign. We got to make the case. We can't make the case for Cummings with UP. So just continue from there.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Listen,
you struck
we're
a
going.
valid
We're
point.
going
And
to do
here's
the
the
kick
thing.
out. Okay. Listen. While you talking, I'm going. We're going to do the kick out, and ANC and USA will be doing the kick out. But you can be talking, and we'll just show why the kick out is going on. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you raised a valid point when you talked about the UP and not claiming some of the good things that the Unity Party government did in the past 12 years. It's very simple because of the deception of Jason Yuma Boakai not giving glory to his boss, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. So he worked with the lady for 12 years. Sideline her and throw her under the bus and say, "Oh, we squander a lot of opportunities." Fact is that the Unity Party standard bearer, uh, uh, um, His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boakai, has a reputation in the pattern here that he does not give glory to the people who did him well. Yes, the man who went to court and told the courts that he does not know the name Ellis Zama Benedict Cummings until he joined the CPP. Mind you, prior to the CPP, there is something called the Boaka Foundation. And that foundation, one of the highest donors of the Boaka Foundation is Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings. How then can you go to court of a man who is one of the highest donors of your foundation? Is being described as a newcomer to you. You don't know him. I mean, that is disheartening. That is a deception at its highest peak, right? You have a man like Elvin Snow and you were in a party. He ran your campaign. Today you can see eye to eye. Every path you cross, you create enemy. Every path you cross, you create enemy. Is that the that's the kind of person? Even the party nomenclature, unity party, you cannot even unite people. So if that's the kind of person we want, we don't want this man because one, he has shown ungratefulness all through his process. You cannot always feel entitled and feel as though the nation is yours, and because of this thing, nobody. Then in the same token,
Okay, please let listen. Please listen to what he be saying. Hold on, just give her a few seconds.
on the presidency, that's fine. But you cannot create enemy along the way. How are you going to govern the nation? Creating enemies? Yes, today, uh, Mr. Ure, who was one of the strong supporter of you, for you to take on the CPP standard bearership, and today you and him fall apart. Henry Costa did everything
Okay,
just
and
because they went against Mr.
hold on 1 minute.
Cummings and did all of
Hold
these
on, hold
things.
on 1 minute. Hold on 1 minute. And okay, hold on 1 minute. Let me. Okay, now they meeting the players. They're meeting the players right now. This is Dave Wasing meeting the players, and on behalf of the CPP USA ANC, and we in from and Raw Island, and anybody can do this. It's not politics, but even the CDC, the UP can do the same thing. So this is the captain, but that's my own friend, and he's prepared. I can see that, and you see the guys right now. They are all ready, and I think they are the ANC guys, but they are Liberians. Today is Liberia Independent Day, and they are celebrating. I don't know what you're doing in Liberia right now, but these guys are here to tradition out to play on this day to entertain the Liberian people that this no matter what happened, we are in another country, celebrate our independence. And you can see he been escorted by James Wa, Jiwa, and he will be taking the kick out. I want to tell people out there it's not on news. If CDC were here today, they were going to do it. They all were invited to this place. And CDC were invited to this place, but because ANC having the program, and we just maybe the lucky one, and even UP, we also visited the program yesterday. And after Dave Wilson spoke, that's when they asked, "Oh, who want to speak?" And then CDC went out there. They had to say something, and from there, so okay, the kick out is about to start, and so Dave Wilson will be taking the kick out. I hope I hope you know how to kick, yeah. Where you live, so if you fall, it's on you.
So let me
If you
wrap it
fall
up
now,
and
it's
say
on
this:
you.
follow
Oh.
the sporting activity.
So,
Um,
no, no, just watch. You're not wrapping up. I want you to watch it,
no,
Anthony.
I gotta
Watch,
follow
watch
the
and see.
I gotta follow the
Okay,
lead.
okay. Okay, he did good.
Yeah, I got a
He
phone call.
did good. You did good. And
Feedback on
okay,
you. You know that.
before you leave, and let me. Uh, uh, okay, so just wrap it up and good. And
Yeah.
this is Dave Boyson, the
Yeah.
co-chair for ANC
Here's the
Global,
thing.
and
I hear
representing
I hear this
CPP.
saying.
And he's so how you feel taking the cake out? How you feel taking the cake out? And
It was
Dave.
an honor when you come in these places and you being given a chance to proxy for your chair. On behalf of Chairman Bunker, the ANC Global, and of course our political leader, Mr. Esanabi Cummings, I just took a kick off and met these great gentlemen. Today is our independent, and as I want to say, congratulations to all Liberians. But one thing, we should look back at where we come from. We should honor the people who made this day possible, the struggle they have gone through, the perseverance of the Liberians, what they have gone through, and the resilience of our people to stand the struggle and reach this stage. However, December 10th holds an election for us. That election, I keep repeating, is consequential. It has decision we make will make us to either think better or worse. So again, congratulations to my fellow Liberians and thank you very much. And I feel very great being here today.
Okay, thank you very much. And Anthony, you can take it from out there and end your statement.
Yeah, that was Mr. Dave
Do your
Wilson,
closing,
vice
Anthony.
chair of the NC Global. Very strong man. He and I have the same background. Always local to him as a senior brother. At the same professional
Hey,
background.
hey.
So, but yeah.
Okay,
So
but listen. You, I can't. I know you say you're hungry right there, but you will have to stay. And I got Winston Gould, one of the founding member of this association, and I just noticed he's a very and nice man. But in the Liberian setting, sometimes you in leadership, nobody want it. But when you try to work, and then other people look at it, they want to take it. So, how you feeling? That I know you're not the president, but you're proxying for the guy who is the chairman. I heard that he's on military assignment. But this is Mr. Gu, and I want you, Winston Gu, and he will explain to you what this program is all about.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to have this press conference or whatever we may call it. My name is Winston Gould, the former president for this association for the past 10 years. Presently, I'm the co-chair of the board. Just to give you a little history, the community, where we do business here, from president to chairman of the board and a board of directors and executive directors. Our day-to-day operation is being handled by the executive director right now. I'm the co-chair of the board. My chairman is a hard-working military man who is on military duty right now, Mr. Nathan Lacroix. And so I am the one who taking day. And this is something we do every year. So today, later on, sometime in the week, we found out that the ANC was coming to do that program here, the function. And we suggested that, listen, if it's going to be a Liberian Independence Day, we're supposed to be together. ANC cannot be in my town and they're having the program somewhere else or somewhere else. So we agreed, it made a lot of sense, and that's how we found having this function together. The community is not a political organization. I know you will hear on Facebook or social media that we bring politics. No, it is our responsibility. When leaders come from Liberia, organizations come from, especially political organization, and being it so explicit that this is an election year, any political party come here, they reach out to the audience. So I had no doubt or to give ANC the full audience of who they are. For me, I'm a two-party man. Let me let you know today.
Because you know that three party not ready anyway, so he try to be neutral. He try to be like he don't want to go 100% neutral. Go ahead.
to be part of that other man, United Party
I'm
people.
a three-party man. I don't know about the other married part. I know I'm a three-party man. So this is what we do here, and today we having the final game with the old timer, the Royal old timer, and the ANC political party having this game here to help us commemorate our day. Thank you very much. Any question?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Winston Gu. I know what it means, and I've been there, and I'm still there in the Librarian Association in Williamboro. I know what it takes a salary, but you will get it worse. They expect you to be the laborer, but the same people who are not contributing will be the one to destroy you, and they will call you names and whatsoever. I know the shoe that you're in, and I'm happy that you are able to welcome the CPP, the ANC into your town. and I see the collaboration between the associations. Anybody could be here. It could be CDC. I saw it to the hall yesterday where UP spoke.
Yep.
But I expect them to be here today, or I expect CDC to be here because they spoke at the hall.
Yep.
But we are the only person came here to show up, to show to the Liberian people, look, this is not about politics.
No.
It's about Liberia, and it's about Liberians. Look at the beautiful people. Everybody taking the time coming out here.
Yep.
Look at my friend all the way from Philadelphia. This guy is from Philadelphia. All the way from Philadelphia with the people around. But I want to say thank you and my hats off to you. And we can do our joke, but people who serve the community, I have too much respect for them. So thank you very much, and go
Thank you very much.
and happy. I hope we see you tonight.
I will be
Okay.
there.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. And I come here, come. And this is one of the young men in this era. And come on, this come near me. I was switching. Let me switch it around. Okay, this is one of the young men in this era. This man is here. Yeah, so yeah, talk. And this guy, I see him with his pad, talking to the players. He's trying to give instruction and whatsoever. How you feel about today? Today's Library Independence Day.
I'm feel very, very excited. The first thing first to recognize myself or to identify myself. Chasti Gonga Jr., the Secretary General of the England chapter ANC.
Oh, ANC.
ANC.
Well, I just meet an ANC man. I don't even know he's an ANC man. Yeah.
Yeah. But today is a lovely day. The fact that we are celebrating our country, the wherein we know that we owe that land a lot. Today we are celebrating that place. I'm happy, very happy.
Okay, thank you very much, and let's have a beautiful game. This I don't want to make this about politics. I know you're ANC man. I'm an ANC man. There are people here from different parties, but the biggest thing is to come together. So the unity
It's
that
the
we need
unity.
today is our Independence Day. That we're here to celebrate, to have a program for ANC. But I want to appreciate you and thank you very much for what you I saw moving around with your friends and trying to give some instruction. But I appreciate you very much. Thank you very much, bro.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Anthony, I'm sorry. I know you want to eat, but this is what
No, no,
going on home, and
I will speak.
to get ready for the program tonight. I was on my feet from yesterday. You know, it's just part of me when I come around, and I'm not on an official of ANC, neither the CPP. I'm just an ordinary member like any other person, but I try to participate and be part of the process. And the best way, my area that I know, they say, oh, they want to play ANC. Oh, we beat ANC, but to their surprise, we in no time were able to mobilize and get a team together. And we were able to win the game.
Get a team
And I'm
together.
very happy with that. And I want to appreciate you very much.
General, you went away again. I can hear you. Yeah, Riverside Pro. There's a sporting activity going on in Rhode Island, and the ANC folks are putting a little section together out there playing the old time of Rhode Island, and so that's what is happening. And we are just chiming in on the political side. So thanks for joining. Mr. General, I can't hear you. Your audio fade away again. Your audio fade away. General, are you there? I can't hear you, General. So I don't know if the people are gonna hear me. I don't know if they're hearing me. I know, right, Emmanuel? He's very important, but you always say nobody. But Emmanuel, can you hear me? Those of you following Riverside Pro, can you hear me as well? For some reason I stopped hearing the general. Let me know. Say yes or no. Give me a thumbs up. Give me hearts. Okay, thank you, Emmanuel. You say you can hear me. So, folks, for me, I come on here for I'm a political junkie. I call myself. I'm here to debunk most of the myths, most of the the false narrative that is out there about the CPP, Mr. Cummings, our VSP, all the different things. Folks, it will just take you less than 5 minutes to understand a person who has a degree in political science, a degree in government, a law degree, is well suited to be the vice running mate to Mr. Cummings. It just plain and simple. Google it. If somebody say, but what does she bring to the table? It's simple. You cannot sign any concession deal without understanding the legal languages in there. There are clauses that hold people accountable in the long term, short term, and all of the different things. Someone who understands policy writing, who writes policies, and who understands the legal implication of those policies and what does it mean to the people of the country. She is the best person to be right next to the president, making these tough decisions for our nation. She practiced criminal law in the United States, was a criminal defense lawyer in the Bronx, one of the most remote part of New York State. There's a New York State and there's a New York City. And for a person who lived within the community with the people that struggle, then somebody said, but how does that relate to Liberia? Let me take you further back to Liberia. This lady have been representing less fortunate people. And poor people. Who is the best person to look at those concession deals, to be the president of the Liberian Senate and making sure bogus deals that Ito and Iboma don't cross her desk, right? Bogus deal like, the $65 million that was just passed. The president of the Liberian Senate don't just sit there. He or she has an influence. And with a negotiation skill, who will make the case? Who can better negotiate? Who can better make the case for the Liberian people, if not a lawyer? If it comes to debating the issue, understanding the nuances and all the different clauses within a law, and you come here and say, what does she bring to the table? A person who took the Liberian bar and deuce the Liberian bar. You want to challenge her intellect? In order to enter law school, you must have a first degree. That's the requirement. Because at that level, they ain't going to teach you like sentence structures. They ain't going to teach you that any longer. You're going to start doing critical thinking, analysis, and other different courses. So lawyers are researchers. Lawyers are critical thinkers. Lawyers are people who look between the lines. The Liberian people have a clear choice in this election, a very clear choice. And that choice is very simple. Do you want to remain in this condition that you have no hope, no opportunities, and you continue to play DV and hope that one day you're going to win? And after you have played the DV, you go right back to that particular lifestyle and there's no hope for another 365 days, and you come back again another year around to play the DV? Or you want to have an opportunity where you have jobs opportunity available to you. You will be able to afford to send your children to the school of your choice. You will be able to buy food for your children, buy that slipper when that slipper comes, buy that uniform, buy them clothes. And you have that dignity because when you're doing those things, you feel proud of yourself. Do you think many Liberians who are in the diaspora want to be there? It's because of these opportunities. I can tell you for a fact, at least 50 to 60% of Liberians in the diaspora today, If Liberia was just like the Ivory Coast, many of them would be back home. Do you know how many Ivorians go back home each year and just go there to just relax? When they go, they're not going with generator. They're not going with the mindset that, oh, I've got to have my generator. Why? 24/7 electricity, peace of mind. Second thing, reliable internet service. Ivory Coast is offering fiber optic internet service. I kid you not. I just checked the thing out this morning. Yes, fiber internet service are serving now. Fiber optic network to your home. What we call fiber to the curb. They run the fiber line strictly to the side of your house. Wow. Ivory Coast, our neighbors. Don't come here and come tell me that, oh, if George Weah was not in the race, I will vote Cummings. Let me ask you a question. With all of your support, you've been supporting George Weah. Be honest with yourself. What has it given you? What benefit there is for you and your family? What in supporting George Weah benefits you? Let me say it like this, good. Benefit you and your family. Let's have this conversation today. What in this thing that gave you the spark, the willingness to want to give your vote to George Weah? Forget about the myth out there that, oh, since 1847, Liberia never had a dialysis machine. False. How you think they were cleaning people's kidney in Yekepa? How? You think that George Weah, the first person ever carried that machine to Liberia? How you think that they open heart surgery multiple times in Yekepa? Was George Weah the surgeon there, or he the one provide? Let me tell you something. Building a house or a building does not mean it's a hospital. You can have a tent, and that tent can be called a hospital if they have all the medical equipment and the trained doctor to perform those tasks. Then it becomes a hospital. You understand? You build a building, Hospital 14, and it's empty. You bring one machine or two machines and say, oh, since 1847. That's why I challenge Councillor Kanyo Bagbala, a Grenadian from Grenadier County, who is a lawyer, young man, wrote a myth that I challenge him. It's been 3 days today. He had not come back to debunk my challenge towards him. We will not sit down for people to mislead the people of Liberia. You can support George Weah, it is your choice. But to spool out myth, falsehood, and deception will not fly. Now, when I'm watching or I'm part of that group and you put that message there, you will be challenged. And so he has not come back. This is the same man that was on the closing argument. I called multiple times. Unfortunately, I was not successful to get my call through. Because I was just going to ask him one question and one question only. The PAPD, the Proper Development, the Proper Agenda for Development and Prosperity, that document was supposed to create 1 million jobs or take 1 million people out of poverty. So 1 million jobs that's supposed to be created or taking 1 million people out of poverty. Why are we today on the number count? How many people have been taken out of poverty? And another ignorant thing about that particular phrase, taking 1 million people out of poverty, having a job does not necessarily take a person out of poverty. Again, hear me clearly. Having a job does not necessarily take a person out of poverty. Why do you think that they have the poverty line in America? Anyone who makes below $25,000 and less It's considered under the poverty line in America. If you make $25,000 a year or less, you are below the poverty line. And for you to sit here and pretend and act as though you are doing the Liberian people a favor, you are just lying to yourself. President, we are throwing jabs that JMB didn't do anything when you're in the Liberian Senate as a Liberian, the president of the Liberian Senate. Yeah. Then Senator Josh Manawea spent 3 years in the Liberian Senate. I challenge him today. Let's go back to his legislative record. He never once co-sponsored a bill, nor introduced a single bill on the floor. Matter of fact, we don't even have a history of George Weah arguing the issue on the floor. One day we recorded that George Weah had a piece of paper and he kept drawing, he kept drawing, he kept, we made fun of him, he kept drawing, and that was it. That was it. That's the level of his incompetence. A clear ineptitude that he displayed as a senator. Didn't alter, didn't argue the issue, didn't make any significant input as a senator. I challenge the citizen to come here and debunk what I'm saying. Because I followed Josh Manawea closely from 2014 to 2017 before he ran to become a Senate president. His legislative accomplishment is zero. Nada. All he was doing, he voted along with where everybody was voting. When you see majority saying no, he says no. When you see majority saying yes, he said yes. Whether or not the yes was good, that was left to be determined. This 54th legislature, voted and ratified 2 loans within 48 hours without them even reading the documents. Why do I say they didn't read the document? Because it's a complete bogus loan. What? Eaton. The Eaton Loan Company does not exist. It's a bogus company, had no office nowhere. It doesn't exist. In fact, they are not even the company that was supposed to loan the Liberian government the money. They were quote-unquote middlemen. But an estimated $150,000 United States dollars was spent in between the negotiating process of that loan. Liberia lost. Itu was ratified. Today, Itu and Iboma still law of the land, still on the books, have not been cancer. DC folks just signed a $65 million loan. Kudos to Representative Yeke Koluba who voted against that loan. The loan term to be paid back in 2073, when many of these guys and ladies would not be around to pay back this loan. Many of them will be dead and gone. 2073. 50 years from now on. Some of them, after 50 years to that year, they will not reach 100 plus. They will be over 100 plus. Some of them even at 10 to that year, they already passed the age. There's 3 scope and 10. I'm going by 3 scope and 10, 70 years that God promised mankind. So when we come here, we come to tell you the truth. The truth is, Mr. Alexander Benedict Comey is a true leader. He came to that country with his mind made up, ready to go through every rigorous process there is. And guess what? You're seeing today cruising. It was not easy for him. It was not bread and butter. Because most Liberians don't like success. They don't like it. How Eric Cummings being a foreigner, you will see a lot of them are going to be praising him. Because he's one of us. They are angry that it is not them. It is him. They are angry that because, oh, why he didn't, you know, join their political party, why he didn't accept to go as VP. You see, this man behavior, Mr. Cummings is a wise leader. There was no guarantee that JMB was taking Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings to be his VP. So if the trick was, this guy is too sophisticated, this guy has money, this guy is known worldwide, if we give him the slightest chance, the way we can steal in this country, we will not steal that any longer. This guy want to stop our eating mouth, that the Liberian man was saying in our Liberian parlance. This guy is coming to spoil things for us. So for this reason, let's push him aside. No, at first they thought they would use Mr. Cummings as the financier of the party. Then they started the thing and said each person had to, each political party in the CPP had to contribute. It turns out the Unity Party and the ALP was slacking in their payment. The two parties that were paying its due, that were the ANC and the Liberty Party. And then when they realized that they were being, left out of the process, well, they come out and say, okay, we will do the consensus thing and so on. Three of us say, oh, we'll support, two of us say we'll support Mr. Bwaka, ANC will be left alone. But Mr. Cummings was very smart again and said the consensus that we have to form, if one person decline, the consensus does not bound, it does not hold. They agree. Three of them came together. Mr. Yue endorsed Mr. Bwaka. Yamdi Kanga endorsed Mr. Bwaka. Boom. Mr. Cummings did not endorse him. That consensus, thing fall apart. The next step was primary. Now, you calling us for opposition unity. Let me speak to that again. If you didn't have the opportunity to, we will help you here. The CPP was tested, and the CPP was successful, and the CPP won seats that put the ruling party to an edge. If the CPP was together today, the election is done. No more campaigning. But again, when the success came, the UP folks thought that, oh, it was because of them. It was not a team effort. They claimed that success came from them. So they say, oh, but you know what? We don't need these people. We don't need these people. Well, you see how ungratefulness can make people look foolish? You were defeated by a man who has no political discipline. A man with the highest level of ineptitude. A man who cannot discuss one governmental sector. But even though he has a master's degree in public administration, so he's supposed to have mastery level of policy writing, mastery level of business administration, mastery level of public policy. He can discuss nothing. I challenge President George Weah today to have a press conference uninterrupted for 1 hour. Let reporter and journalists ask him questions. He will not do it. That would be the biggest mistake that George Weah would do. So guess what? He goes behind the pulpit and throws jobs. That's all he would do, because that is his sweet spot. And he brings a man who lies to him all the time, Minister Samuel 12. A man who talks about digital frontier, digital economy, and never did a research on M-Pesa, the #1 mobile money in the world, from Kenya, that was introduced to the world 2007. Don't take my word for it. Google M-Pesa. These are the same people who will go around and say, since 1847, this never happened. I challenge you to go on YouTube. Type the industrial Liberia. You will watch a documentary about Liberia. How Liberia was then and how it is today. So you will know for yourself, for those of you who never lived the number day Liberia, young people, I'm talking to you. Go on YouTube, type the industrial Liberia. There is a documentary there that show you how things used to be manufactured in Liberia. How Liberia has her own refinery. I'm not saying buying petroleum product, filling petroleum product from different countries and storing it in Liberia. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the raw crude oil coming to the country and being refined. And kerosene, premium gasoline, and we have 3 grades of gasoline in Liberia nowadays. We have the unleaded fuel, we have the plus and the premium. Today, only unleaded fuel is sold in Liberia. The only different gasoline that go to Liberia that the jet fuel that ordinary people cannot even touch. Even the unleaded fuel in Liberia is the worst kind that will never be sold on the market in other countries. That particular gasoline is sold in Africa's own black market. Only community tested they can use it. The water there. The dirtiest gas ever. But at a regular gas station, at the Elk or Shell gas station in Africa or Total, you will not find that nonsense there. So, folks, they will tell you things like that. That since 1847, this never happened. That's a myth. I just gave you a link. Go on YouTube. Type the industrial Liberia. You will come across a video of normal days Liberia. How Liberia used to be. The economy of Liberia. The manufacturing industry of Liberia. And you will see why Liberia was booming. Back then, we had the US dollar 1-to-1. You have one Liberian dollar was equivalent to one United States dollar. Then it changed in 1985 to 2-to-1. That's when they introduced the Liberian dollar coin. That money was taken off the market because it was too heavy to carry. And they brought one of the best Liberian currency ever, the JJ. That money was 2-to-1. You have 50 Liberian dollar was equivalent to 25 US dollar. You have 100 US dollar was 200 Liberian dollar. Period. We had our money like that until the war hit Liberia, 1989, December the 24th, Christmas Eve. Don't come here and come to lecture us. We knew Liberia before the war. I bought bag of rice for $13.50 Liberian dollar using the JJ. A 100-pound or 50 kg bag of rice, $13.50. The last price we bought rice before the war hit was 25 Liberian dollar. Period. For the clean parboiled American parboiled rice. Clean American parboiled rice, the one you call busala. The clean American parboiled rice. And country rice and other things that were like $23, $22, depending the store you go to, depending the township you in, the city and all of that different thing. Don't tell me that I never saw a number day Liberia. Don't tell me I don't know that Liberia had a 24/7 electricity. Don't tell me that we never had telephone booth in the street. Don't tell me that I never had a pipe bomb water. Don't tell me that I never had paved roads. Go tell somebody else. So sedition, the well-educated ones among you, people that have law degree will lie and say, since 1847, this never happened in this country. Myth. If you want to worship your George Weah, you are at liberty to worship your George Manuel Weah. But the spoon lies will not fly. It will not suffice. It will not hold water. We will come and hold you accountable. That's why I continue to call Councillor Barbara name. Because he wrote that piece. And I challenge that piece. Folks, if you want to succeed in life, be truthful to yourself. We see our leaders and passing around. A few days I saw another group of people, even today, in that same group chat again, glorifying the bank governor of Liberia, telling you thank you. The bank governor of Liberia not helping you. What monetary policy have you put in place? There is no trust in the banking sector of Liberia. Many Liberians will not even put that money in the bank. You put your $1,000 down there, the next day, go back. They'll tell you, say, system down. They can't give you your money. They will hold your own money for weeks. System down, that I excuse. No trust in the banking sector. You came in over 3 years today. What monetary policy have you put in place? Ordinary Liberian don't trust the bank. All the big businesses in Liberia are not using the Liberian banking sector. They keep that money at home. They take the money. They bring that goods. That's why something called capital flight is killing the Liberian economy. I am not an economist, and I don't profess to be one. But I do. I did little economic 101, 102, and 103, and I can tell you for a fact, capital flight is killing Liberia. What is capital flight? There's no regulatory body on the market to control this. With the two currencies running concurrently on the market, the consumer at the detriment of the vendors. If you are to purchase a product in Liberia that is $200 US, and you don't have the $200 US in your hand, but you have the Liberian dollar equivalent to the $200 US, you will end up paying more money, more over $200, than if you were to have the $200 US. There where the business people benefit and the ordinary people suffer because of having two currency. Another part to that capital flight is anybody can buy tons of merchandise from outside of Liberia, ship it to Liberia, go to the free port, free your merchandise, pay all of your duty costs, sell all your merchandise on the market in Liberia, suck up the US dollar, walk away. How do you control this? The ordinary people will continue to struggle with these circumstances. The Lebanese and other foreign business national in Liberia are making it so difficult for ordinary Liberian business to strive. They have huge purchasing power. They can buy as many goods as possible. The Liberian businesses cannot compete because there is no cash access. The Liberian businesses have no access to cash. They can't get a loan. They can't add what they have to the little money they already have into their business. So they're stuck. How do you expect them to succeed? But President, we are clean. The Liberian will not be spectator in their own economy. This is the kind of thing when people will see that and say, oh, 12 more years. What has George Weah done in the last 5.5 years, almost 6 years, that the Liberian people should reward him the presidency? Now, here's the alternative before your eyes. You have Edison Benedict Kumi, a financial guru, a man who has managed over billions and billions of dollars, a man who has a clean and impeccable reputation on the global stage, managed a multi-billion-dollar company, went to Liberia, joined the political process, compete against top politicians, navigated his way without betraying anyone. He is where he is today. It speaks one thing about his decision making. It speaks about his leadership style. He's a very contagious leader, and everything he touches becomes gold. The CPP today have no noise, no commotion, no backstabbing. We are selling, and we have a purpose and a plan for our nation. Number one on the list, electricity across the length and breadth of Liberia. Second thing, broadband connectivity. The United States government has passed over $1 billion investment of broadband connectivity under the Biden administration. Whoever becomes president of the Republic of Liberia will have access to that money. And no politician in the race is talking about broadband connectivity across the length and breadth of Liberia. What will this do for Liberia? Will open Liberia to the global world. That Liberian will have access to the world. They don't need government. You can sit right in your Le Pantage house and apply for a job across the globe. For United Nations job, for Google and Yahoo and all the big tech company. You can apply for any logistics job. You can sit home and do a procurement right on your computer. You can do all the different kind of entry level data entry jobs just from home, clerical work just from home, medical building just from home, right in your own village, as long as you have access to the internet. Your only barrier today, you don't have electricity, you don't have broadband connectivity. When you buy a scratch card, you can't do the job with a scratch card. Let's put that aside. But once you have a job, you can afford to have a Wi-Fi device that will cost you maybe $35 a month or maybe $40 a month. You can afford that and you'll have solid connectivity. But you need that infrastructure of the network being built. Fiber optic network, where you go miles and miles and miles and miles and less attenuation. Let me start speaking technical terms. Less signal weakness. So, folks, we are not here to fool you. I hear most of the people in the CDC camp talk about, oh, if George Weah was not in the race. George Weah 6 years, has it ever impacted your life positively? You, your family, your children to come. No. Look at the educational system. Nada. Look at his area of expertise, the Liberians Football Association. Dead under his administration. For a man who reached the higher height in his career as a soccer living legend. And I will always respect him when it comes to soccer. BBC described George Weah as the player of the century out of Africa. And we continue to respect him because he put Africa on the map, Liberia on the map. But what can we reference that to Liberia? If George Weah shall have left this earth today, what would be his soccer legacy of Liberia? What would be? Has he ever thought about that? Has he ever talked about his legacy? Or does he want to be remembered as this corrupt, inept, and incompetent president of all time of Liberia? How do you want to be remembered? Do you want to be remembered that people telling you lies that since 1847, dialysis machine never been to Liberia? We never had even a open heart surgery performed in Liberia. A neurosurgeon opening human hair and cleaning the dirt on the brain and putting it back together and then survive? We never had those things happening in Liberia? Is that what you want me to believe? Go tell that to the people who never saw the Nemo de Liberia. Not me. I saw a little gist of it and I appreciate that. And I know Liberia can even be by far better than that. And you sit here, you have a finance minister who have no idea how to turn the economy around. You talk about harmonization. You cut people's salary. You talk advantage of them, and you zero. The Ivorian people did that and we were successful. We heard about devaluation. The how they were calling it at that time in Africa Coast. And it benefited the Ivorian government. The Ghanaian did the same thing, and it benefited the Ghanaian economy. Because you heard about it, you never did your homework. Same thing you did with the mobile money thing. When we had shortage of the Liberian dollar on the market, I heard Minister Sametor on the nation on radio ELBC that morning. Oh, we are about to launch digital frontier. And when we launch the digital frontier, we will solve the whole money shortage issue in this country. The only thing we ask, if we pay 7, they should not cash out the money. Go Google M like Mary, Pesa, P-E-S-A. The word Pesa is a Swahili word meaning money. So the M there stands for mobile, and the Pesa stands for money. So they call it mobile money M-Pesa. What is this driving force behind M-Pesa? It's access to liquidity. The financial people understand what liquidity means. We, the lay people who are not financial gurus and experts, we know liquidity means access to cash, physical cash. Even in the United States or other developed countries where they have this digital system where people use more electronic transaction, there is still access to cash. If you want money, you have access to the ATM. You can withdraw money. You buy some stuff in the store. You want a cash back. The cashier will give you cash back, or the self checkout machine will give you cash back. You can tell me that when you gave me my money, I shouldn't cash out the money. I should only have it on my mobile phone, and I should only go to places that only accept mobile phone. First of all, how many mobile money places in Liberia? How many businesses have mobile money service? You know, sometimes this guy don't even do a homework. He just come up with foolish things and think that he will fool the Liberian people. He only plays on the intelligence of people who don't understand basic economic. That's it. And that's what he does. But a person like me, whenever I listen to some mentor update, whoa, how did this guy arrive to becoming a finance minister of a country that have a struggling economic problem like this? No serious business person. Everything. I always said that, and he validated my point. When Samuel Twa attended the Japanese African Summit, I think that was in, if it's not 2019, it was 2020, if I'm not mistaken. However, I will get that date right or the year right. But the summit remains. The key thing here is that summit, the Japanese African Summit. Only 3 minutes were allocated for each speaker. Samuel Toy spoke, he presented the argument, he left. Other countries spoke, they presented the argument, they left. Liberia left with an empty hand. Empty hand. Nada. Spanish man say zero. The whole en français. You didn't get nothing out of it. What did Africa work with? 1.6 billion United States dollar for a Toyota plant, a Toyota assembly line, West African supply chain. Today, they are assembling Toyota vehicles, just as they do in America. Toyota is very proprietary. They don't like that product to be manufactured elsewhere. So in Japan, all the Toyota car parts are made there, and they put the pieces together in different boxes and ship it to countries, and these countries assemble the Toyotas. So in the US, the Toyota that come here is different from the Toyota that go to Europe, it's different from the Toyota that go to Africa. We got a Toyota Prado or something it's called. It look almost like a Highlander, but a little bigger body. It does not come to the US. It goes to Europe and also go to Africa. The Toyota Land Cruiser, the different body style, does not come here. The United Nations get that particular Land Cruiser body style that they use for ambulances and other different things, and also the bigger body one for the UN mission. They just start releasing that now to the general public and whatnot, right? So every country or continent has a special design of Toyota. They've been doing it for years. I don't know the reason why. Probably it's different regulation and whatnot. All the regulatory policy that go into that, I don't know those nuances. But today, Ivory Coast has the assembly line. They are assembling Toyota vehicles in the Ivory Coast. For now, the Japanese African Summit, Summit 12 attended that summit. Walk out of that summit with zero. A job. Opportunity for job creation, long-term job creation. Toyota is one of the number one car manufacturer in the world, and they sell more cars. I remember for the past 6 to 7, 8 years now, they've been tapping the U.S. market, especially on Camrys and the 4Runners. These are the two cars that oversold most of the American cars. So you sit here and want to tell us that the CDC have done this and some of this. So your clear alternative is Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings. Why? He's not your typical politician. Why? He's coming with a clear-cut plan. Why? He has an impeccable character. He understands the nuances of job creation. No one in this race understands the private sector better than Alexander Benedict Cummings. And for Liberia to strive, it's not government jobs. It's the private sector growth. because the government can only hire 70,000 people. So what will you do with the 4,300,000 plus people that will be left over if the government had filled all the roles and positions in government? Only 70,000 people can be hired. So the vast majority of the people have no job. They don't want you to have an opportunity. They want you to be a beggar. So that anytime they come around, oh yeah, do you know what? I'm the honorable, I'm this, I'm that. One of the reasons why you come to America, nobody running behind anybody. So long you can push a little cartoon, you can get a little $200 every week, you set. You don't gotta wait that, oh, if your check will bounce or not. When you had something called direct deposit, in the money, you check your bank account, the money is there. You go, you swap your card, you go to the ATM, you put it out. You good. They make mistake and check, you make one phone call straight to HR. They fix it. If they have to give you something called an off-cycle check, meaning, in 24 hours for you to receive that check, they will do it. Not Liberia here. So that's the reason why people are trying to go elsewhere to seek greener pasture. The Liberians are not lazy people. I hear people saying some of the diaspora can get frustrated. No, people that are lazy, man, they're lazy. I always tell people, be mindful. There is something called poverty. It has the ability to make a person to not have a logical reasoning. It deteriorates your logical reasoning. That's what poverty does. When you are poor, you think poorly. When you are poor, your mind is weak. When a very few poor people will sit in a hardship and try to navigate and get out, but the ratio is very low. Poverty deteriorates one's ability to logically reason. That's what poverty does. Poverty makes a person who gave you crumbs like a king or queen. That's what poverty does to you. The one who comes with a piece of bread and the money is like the savior. He always want to be in that position to always give you that piece of bread and want to control your life. He don't want to give you access to opportunity because then they will have no control over you. So they want to keep you poor. They want to keep you poor. And they want you to stay where you are. There where you belong. You were born poor, you must die poor. Am I saying if Mr. Cummings becomes president, everybody in Liberia will be rich? No! Don't get me wrong. What am I saying? If Mr. Cummings becomes president of Liberia, every Liberian, hear me clearly, whether you sedition, you support our CPP, UP, whatever the case is, or non-position, opposition, you will have an opportunity to strive. You will have job opportunity. You will have opportunity to improve yourself academically, vocationally. You will have those opportunities. Looking for a better food will not be your option anymore because you will be able to feed yourself. You will be able to buy your own clothes. You will be able to send your children to the school of your choice. You'll be able to say, you know what? Let me get my passport to just go to the other African country just to tour here a little bit. Or let me get a visa to go to America just to visit and come back. Let me get a visa to go to Japan. Let me tour the world. You're not even thinking about building a house right now. You will start thinking about building a house. Right now, where you are, you've been thinking how to get money for your 25 kg bag of rent. You know, next thing you'll be thinking about, oh, I think I can afford a little papi solo right now. Oh, I think I can put my little pombo down. These are things you will start thinking about. Why? Because now you have a job. That is the difference. This is what we promise you. That job opportunity will be available to all Liberians. If you're janitor, if you're sweeper, if you're market woman, you will not have to worry if I take this 2 bags of better about to the market where I make a sale today. Today, many women carrying their merchandise to the market and carrying it back home. Because the purchasing power is weak. I want to close by this. July 26th is a few days from now. What are you proud of as a Liberian? What are you proud of as a Liberian? I know some people will say, oh, Tubman is the father of the nation. What did he leave us? What is the foundation he set for Liberia? Having a statue all over the places, building these one old kind of houses all across government ministry, inadequate, very few schools, unpaved roads. Owners did the road map, staying in office for 27 years, and never set a foundation for Liberia. Is that the man I should celebrate for the July 26th? Or the Liberians that were marginalized for over 150 years? That's why I should celebrate. Or the Liberians that are hopeless right now, that have no hope. You graduate from the University of Liberia or other higher institution, you have no job. Now you gotta become a water market seller, sell in the market, sell to Kafle or some sort of dragos. Is that why you woke up early morning, burn the midnight candle to be educated? The nation has failed its citizens. No hope. The hopelessness is higher than the aspiration of the nation. People celebrate independence because of what the country have done for them, or what opportunity the country have presented for them. And though some people will be so quick and quote JFK, it's not what you do, or it's not what the country do for you, it's what you do for your country. But America laid a foundation for its citizens. It is not a perfect nation. They are still working on their imperfections. But it's by far the oldest democracy in the world. And it gives you hope to hopeless people. It gives you second chance to life. You can lose everything in this country. If you focus and put your mind together, in 6 months to a year, you can recuperate even 3 or 4 times what you lost. You cannot try that in any other country. You will struggle for a long, long time. You can live the American dream if you do everything right and play by the rules and avoid trouble. The freedom we have in this country, it is not in Liberia. I hear people say, I got freedom in Liberia. Yeah, because you can be driving with a beer bottle in your hand and get the style to the police officer in the street and say, yeah, but man, thank you, man. Yeah, I get a half and pass. You can drive on the opposite side of the street in Liberia and you enjoy yourself. That's why you think Liberia is free. But it's the same country that somebody get killed and walk free. And then nobody cares about it. People come around and say, hey, y'all, hey, y'all. Instead of a car will bump into a child. That child is suffering, dying under that car. And everybody will pull out that camera and recording. Hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey, y'all. Why are they recording? There is nothing called survival mode has to click in. That somebody's life is important than my camera. Let's rush them, lift up this taxi, bring the child to safety, take the child to the nearest emergency room. We don't have it. We were never taught these things. Safety is ignored in Liberia. You see, the LEC employee will go up on the pole without what we call a PPE, personal protective equipment. No safety. From the government official to the layman, everybody violating safety at all costs. If safety is implemented in Liberia, at least 50% of the cost of death in Liberia will reduce. 50%. Majority of the highway crashes in Liberia because driver lost control of the car. You're on a 35 lane, you're going 90. Safety, public safety has been ignored by government officials, by citizens themselves. No one teaching them. No one telling them. Now, there are none of foolishness that going on in Liberia now. Each motorcyclist now putting umbrella on the motorbike. What is the safety there? That is a hazard right there waiting to happen. A hazard waiting to happen. You think the manufacturer of the bike didn't know that it will rain? Are you smarter than the engineer that put the motorbike together? You think they don't know that it will not have a cover over it? That's why you have raincoats. That's why you have back jackets. That's why you have helmets. But you take an umbrella. Even the umbrella can stop the rain from touching you. You still get wet because as you drive, the water flash on you. Again, safety. Many cars in the city of Monrovia, I'm not talking about in the village, but in the city of Monrovia, can't even pass inspection. They're running. No brakes. No brakes. Your lawmaker make more money than the people that can come back all the time. Your Speaker of the House make more money than the Speaker of the House of the U.S. But you come back for money. How dare you? President Weah makes more money than Joe Biden. Joe Biden whole year salary, $450,000. Josh Weah office alone, just his office, 22 million United States dollars, just his office. Not his salary, but the office budget. 22 million United States dollars for 1 year. This is the country you have. Folks, vote your conscience. Vote Alexander Benedict Cummings. Vote the CPP. Vote a Liberia that will rebirth. Vote a Liberia that will be rebuilt. Vote a Liberia with courage. Vote a Liberia of integrity. A Liberia of all Liberians to strive. Where every Liberian deserves a better Liberia. Folks, if a good training with you today, I'll come back in the evening time. We'll rejoin this network. You will see me every Friday on the Focus on Liberia platform as well, where we'll be propagating the issues of Liberia, and we'll be checkmating those that are telling you lies, myth, all days that since 1847, George Weah is the first person who did it. That's a lie. That's a lie. Go on YouTube. Watch the Industrial Liberia. There is a documentary for that. The Industrial Liberia. There is a documentary there for you to watch. So you can see how Liberia was then. All the things that they said we didn't have before, they will show you. They will show you. So George Weah and the sedition, and many of them are liars. They keep telling lies so you can believe that myth. Because George Weah is not even doing anything today better than what we had in the 80s. Free of charge, I can tell you. Because he put one few road to those community that was a Swamped land and Chuba Road, so that means that the best thing ever that Liberia never had. Okay, granted, let's get in that 2 roads. Or the few other small feeder roads he did. Where's the road that going to the southeastern region? Where's the coastal highway he promised? Oh, the Sester Road Bridge is outdated. That bridge was only supposed to last for 50 years. Go look on the bridge. Go see when that bridge was built. Since 1964, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But it was built in the 60s. It was built in the 60s. It's more than 50 years old. More than 50 years old. That bridge is a death trap waiting to happen. It's a death trap. The Sesto River Bridge connecting Nima County and Grangeda County. None of the lawmakers talked about it because you know what? They can take that lay air that say $150 US, boom, to Grangeda. They don't want to take that road. It's a death trap. Death trap right there. Sesto River Bridge. The bridge is outdated. It has never been maintained since the war. And you know how the war lasted longer? And when it rains, sunshine, all matter. Every time it rains, sunshine, rain, it deteriorates. It gets rusty. Folks, again, safety is ignored. I will have a whole show about safety. And many things that Liberian can do to mitigate and reduce the casualty, the death rate at that level. We're seeing people going up on the LEC pole and getting fried by electricity because they didn't have the proper PPE on. LEC allowed their employee to go up on the pole, on a power pole. I work in telecommunication. I will not touch that thing. I deal with low voltage. I don't even touch those things without my proper PPE, let alone working with power. That is the Liberia that we have. So, folks, your alternative this year, Elizana Benedict Cummings. Elizana Benedict Cummings is your choice. The CPP. Don't go looking for ANC on the ballot. You will not find ANC. It's the CPP. C, P, and P. All right? Look for Ellis Cummings and Councillor Bronsky, Charlene Bronsky. Vote your conscience. Vote your conscience. There is no opposition unity. We had a unity, they ran away from it. They are seeking the same thing we want. The same presidency we are seeking, the UP is seeking that same presidency. How can we unite? We had a CPP, you walk away. So what unity you want? You call us document fingerer when you were the masterminder behind a false narrative that did not hold water, but delayed the process for 6 months. You have been exposed, and the Liberian people will reward you for your bad and deceptive behavior. You are too entitled. The presidency does not belong to you. It belongs to the person who deserves it. And we will not reward any deceptor, the president of Liberia. And so, folks, I want to say thank you for having me and have a good time.